Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, what we're going to talk about are second gen swaps. I've done 4 of them now since I've started this whole YouTube thing, and I've done 4 different kits. So what I want to do is bring to you guys, as you can, oh man, there's dirt everywhere. But anyway, I just want to bring you guys a video kind of reviewing all the kits and letting you know how the installs went and give you some pros and give you some cons of the kits. So here we go. All right, so when I review these kits, I'm not gonna review them based on horsepower. What I'm gonna review them on is fitment and install and how everything goes with the install. My truck, I did a lot of things during the actual second gen swap itself, and it took me the longest, and I'm not gonna go by like how long it took to install the kit because I learned more and more as I went through these things. So we'll start out with the 3rd gen, and that has a Fleece second gen swap in it. So we'll walk over there and check it out. So as you guys can see here, this is the Fleece second gen swap kit. Like I said, they're all pretty much the same. They're just branded differently with piping kits, right? So this has a steed speed manifold. This has an S467.7, 0.83, 0.90 AR housing, and this is their Fleece. This is Fleece's turbo. The pipe here is metal. I think on the newer kits, they're plastic. That is one of the negatives that I do not like about that kit. The ease of install for this thing was fairly simple since this was pretty much a rebuild on this truck. We literally took everything on this side of the motor off and cleaned it up, refreshed it because the turbo that was in here before was absolutely destroyed. If you guys haven't seen that video, go back a few months, shoot, if not a year, and go check it out, and I'll show you the whole revamp of this truck. The thing I do not like about the Fleece kits is how low they sit. When we go check out my truck next, or my buddy Keenan's truck next, I'll show you, I like the high mount kit. Just for the ease of, actually just really for the looks of it. Does this work? Yes, but look how close it is to this battery box. And if this was to actually have a grid heater on it, which sits right about in this area, this would hit, you would have to modify that. One of the other things I don't like about the Fleece kit is the downpipe. It's a thin flanged downpipe, and it's just a generic downpipe. And these trucks that come with the actual downpipes, you have to usually take to a muffler shop. I'll show you Keenan's when we get under his. His is a 2004 5.9 with a 464, but we'll get there later. And I'll just show you exactly what I mean by the downpipe stuff. So yeah, this is the Fleece kit. Like I said, just a pretty much generic kit. Nothing too different on this one. This was a rebuild. This was not a brand new fresh install second gen swap, but you get the point. This next kit is a Slosh Fab kit. There's a guy, Jake, that actually runs this company. I think he does this part-time. Don't quote me on that, but he has been tremendously helpful when it comes to customer service, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But I want to show you guys his kit. This is his kit. This is the Slosh Fab kit. I will get you the color of this actual powder coating when I later on. It'll probably be at the bottom of the screen right now. This kit, phenomenal looking kit. Beautiful actual powder coat. The V-bands are powder coated. Not a fan of that. They look awesome, but I'll tell you right now, just that little bit of powder on there actually makes these really hard to slide, and even just fitment. I didn't like how I had to move them. They get stuck because the powder's up here. Once again, they're all that's the looks, that's the aesthetic sides of things, but I'm just not a fan of that. The turbo and everything fits great. The only thing I didn't like about this kit was, see this line right here. Not sure if you got, yeah, the one I'm moving is my heater core line. The heater core line used to sit right about here towards the back of the downpipe, and we had to modify that. There is I want to say it's the coolant riser that's down underneath the actual steed speed manifold. I'm trying to see if I can get that in here, but I don't know if I can. What we had to do with that was actually open up the system by opening those clamps, breaking the seal, and there's a T-bar that runs parallel underneath the steed speed, and the T came up like this. So when we broke that seal, I pretty much pushed it down to reroute the coolant from the firewall all the way under the actual downpipe. And as you see that line that's going underneath the downpipe, that's the coolant line where I had to reconnect it. That really wasn't given, there wasn't really any instructions with the Slosh Fab kit, but that was the actual negative side of this. You can see his kit right here. I'm sure you guys are going to see this, but you guys can kind of see the welds on this kit. Not the best job. They pop out a little here on the side. but there's no leaks or anything like that from what I know. So another negative of that kit, of the Slosh Fab kit. Overall, it's a great kit, no issues. It went on easy, just like the rest of them. It was missing actually a exhaust housing, or excuse me, one of the exhaust flanges for the T4 fitting for this the Steed Speed. It came with one, but with this vehicle, or excuse me, with this swap kit, you see how close that the housing is to the actual flange here. I can't even get my finger through there. So you need about, I want to say it's like a 1/4 inch spacer that usually pushes it up. So you're going to need 2 actual T4 flange exhaust gaskets in order to put on the gasket side from the, excuse me, the gasket side from the Steed Speed. Then you're gonna put the spacer, then you're gonna put another gasket, and then you'll put the turbine housing on this. So that was a negative of this kit. And the last but not least, the flange on the back of the for the downpipe, he sent us the wrong one, and it took about, you know, he next day aired it to us, so it wasn't a big issue, but that stopped us from finishing it up that day. So overall, drives great. I'm not, like I said, I'm not measuring this on horsepower. This kit is a 464.83.90 turbo. It's just a box turbo from Forced Inductions. This is not a Borg Warner like you typically would see with these kits, but overall, great kit. Negative again is that downpipe. I'm just not a fan of the downpipes. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna get under this truck and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the fitment of these downpipes. All right, so here's where the downpipe comes down. The back of the turbo is way up over yonder, and then it comes down here. It came with this 4 to 5 inch adapter. Keenan's truck already had a 4-inch pipe here that went all the way to right about here to the standard DPF delete pipe, and then this was 4-inch till it got about here, and then it went back. As you can see, I got it all hodgepodge together right now. This is all loose. This is not stable, but it'll get you to a muffler shop. It's not astronomically loud, but they're going to pretty much just have to put a 5-inch piece, you know, from here to here, which isn't much, shouldn't cost them a lot. But the reason I tried to do all this the best of my ability so we could get it there and not absolutely sound horrible and disruptive of everybody else. All right, last but not least, I'll talk about my kit. If you guys haven't seen it, I did a huge review on this kit a while ago, and I absolutely love it. The turbo has actually been swapped out recently, if you guys didn't know. A few videos ago, I put the 468.83 1.0 housing on this thing. It is a freaking blast to drive, and I love it. So this is a WCFab kit. As you can see, it's very easy and very obvious to see that. I did a lot of research before I decided to pull the trigger on this kit, and the reason being is I watched a buddy of mine, Steve. If you guys haven't seen his channel, Ram Beast Projects, I think it's now Beast Projects. He actually had this kit, and I watched Josh over at Dirty Diesels install it. I must have watched that video about, no joke, about 10 to 15 times before I actually pulled the trigger and decided to do this myself. The reason being so is because before I ever put one of these second gen swap kits on, my experience with mechanical stuff, other than airplanes and working on the aircraft and that my job requires, it was literally a cold air intake and an actual exhaust system. So pulling all this part of your motor off and absolutely just removing all the stock stuff and putting in a second gen swap was kind of a big deal. I'll put the price of this kit down at the bottom of the screen. With this kit, I also did the coolant tank that you guys can see over there. This is their first generation coolant tank. It is, to me, it's a horrible design. You don't know, there's no actual sight glass on it. Now they have one on there. I tried to get another one from them, but they were like, oh, we'll give you 5% off. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just stick with this one for right now. And as you guys can see, there's a probe that comes out the side there, and I kind of got, yeah, you guys kind of see it right there with the coolant and the wire coming out, or not the coolant, but the actual RTV to seal it. That was leaking for a little bit when I first put this tank on, and then I actually had to seal it up that way. So I did the kit. I did initially 467.83.90 turbo, just a box Borg Warner turbo. The coolant tank, I did the actual Banks Monster Ram intake, and then I did the Fleece coolant bypass. As you guys see, the coolant line right here that goes to the back of the motor. This kit took me, no joke, probably about 2.5–3 days to install. The reason it took me so long to install was because I was was deathly nervous about messing something up, and also doing that coolant bypass. It was hard as hell to get to that freeze plug that's in the back of the motor. If you guys have ever installed the Fleece coolant bypass with your transmission in, hell, even with your turbo kit in, it's next to impossible. So getting that done literally was like a day delay until I had my cousin come over here, and I just said the hell with it and knocked it out, and it was easy day. One kit that I also installed that is not here is my buddy Bodie. He has a white 2012 Ram 2500 with obviously the 6.7 Cummins, and he did a WCFab kit. Great kit. Like I said, they're all the same. It's pretty much just piping and things like that, fit and finish. Oh crap, one thing I want to go back to on the WCFab is their downpipe is a downpipe that goes from the back of the turbo down to my stock, my actual Flow Pro 5-inch kit. So I didn't have to do a custom downpipe, I didn't have to get anything welded. Let's climb under here and I'll show you guys. It's literally like a 2-foot section of exhaust that is coated, and then you put the wrap on it. All that crap came with the actual, whatchamacallit, the kit. But I'll see if I can zoom in. And yeah, you guys see the flange here? You see the wrapping right there? That goes to the back of the turbo. It all bolted up, and it did not leak. I've never had an issue with it. It's not coming undone or anything like that. That was, to me, this is the selling point of the WCFab kit, is the exhaust downpipe. Hands down, the best on the market. All right, and last, like I was saying, we're talking about Bodie's kit. He's got a 2012 Ram. He did the WCFab kit as a steed speed manifold, 467.7, 0.83, 0.90 housing on a steed speed manifold, and he just did some stainless actual stainless studs to mount up the exhaust manifold. On Bodie's truck, that truck was it was a pretty simple install. We did the Fleece coolant bypass on that as well, so that kind of delayed us about 2 hours, and that was the second kit I've ever done. So start to finish, we got that kit done in about 9 hours. Pros to that kit, fitment was good. Once again, he had the downpipe. When he drove out of here, he had no exhaust from the downpipe back, so it was just horribly loud. He had to take it to an exhaust shop, and I want to say he paid about another $150 to actually get the exhaust downpipe welded to the rest of his system. That's what I do not like about second gen swaps, is when you have to do that, because there's more costs associated with it, and then getting your vehicle there to actually get that stuff taken care of. Overall, the kits, like I said, they're the same. They're great kits. They all work well. Yes, they all require tuning. Yes, they require tuning, but they're fairly simple to install. As you go and install these second-gen swaps, they get easier and easier and easier. I guess for me it gets easier because I've only really done my truck and the dually, and everybody else is, I pretty much kind of coached them through it and helped them install it with just, hey, this is what you do next, this is what you do, and it saved them a tremendous amount of time and a boatload of money. I'm not sure what a shop charges for these kits. I'm by far no professional, but everything that I've done on these, I try to keep the best attention to detail so everything is done right. I do not want to cut corners, and I just want to make sure it's done so I don't have to get back in there, mess with it again, and redo it all over if I kind of cut some corners. But as you guys can see, I'll just go back over these. This is the 6.7 Cummins with a Fleece second gen swap, the low mount kit. This is a 6.7 Cummins, obviously, with a WCFab kit, the best in my opinion. And then we come over here, and then we got the 5.9 with the Slosh Fab kit. All of them fit and install pretty much the exact same way. What I'll do is I'll put a breakdown and cost comparison of each kit on the next screen here. I'll list them all from the top, from say WCFab, WCFab, I'll do the Fleece, and then I'll do the Slosh, just for the simple fact that's the order that I installed them. So if I had to rank them, my number one would be the WCFab. My second would be the actual WCFab kit. Third would be Slosh Fab, and fourth would be Fleece. That's my order. That's the way I would rank them since I've installed all 4 of those. And yeah, take it for what it's worth. So if you guys are looking to do a 2nd gen swap, you know, maybe this will help you make your decision. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm sure I'm going to forget something, but please ask the questions down there. I will try to get back to each and every single one of you guys. And if you guys do not know, I'm also over on Instagram with the same name, OKC_6.7. I'll put that right here at the bottom of the screen, and we can get questions flowing in that way. All right, guys, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an outro here. Every single one of these turbo kits I would have full confidence in installing on my own truck. They all make great quality kits. The only downside that I don't like about some of them are the ones you guys have heard already. Everything looks great. They just use box turbos, usually Steed manifolds or other aftermarket manifolds, and everything else is pretty much the same. Like I said earlier in the video, I have my rank that I like them, but at the same time, I would install every single one of these kits on my truck and have full confidence that they would be just fine. Tuning is everything. It's not the kit. The kit itself is just, it's fixed mechanical operating equipment. It is not the actual be all, go all to, or it's not the actual be all of this engine, due to the simple fact that tuning is everything when it comes to doing anything aftermarket to these trucks. If you put bigger air on there, you're gonna have to put bigger fuel. Bigger fuel means other mods down the road, whether it's a transmission or whatever the case may be. But I just wanted to show you guys my honest review of all of these kits. Absolutely, every single one of them is great. I would just personally choose the WCFab for my truck, as I did, you know, when I did all the research and whatnot. But I would highly recommend these kits to anybody that was looking at 2nd gen swaps. Like you guys seen earlier in the video, I showed you a price breakdown of every single one of the kits and what's associated with it. We got Keenan's truck done today at the muffler shop, and it cost us 150 bucks to get the exhaust welded up and fully completed before he could actually head back to Texas. So that is an extra additional cost to think about, and just be familiar with your area and what that stuff costs. I took it to a muffler shop, just a bunch of good old boys. They did awesome work, and they took care of me. So just take that into consideration when you're buying this kit, and hopefully it'll help you make the best educated decision when it comes to buying your own 2nd gen swap. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't think there's another video like this on YouTube. Please leave me comments down below, and if you guys haven't been here before, please kick the like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. I love to interact with you guys, so if there's any questions you guys have, make sure you leave them down below. Until the next upload, we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.